Yu-Gi-Oh is one of the most difficult trading card games to get into. With over 10,000 different cards and so many different products to choose from, where do you even begin? Using a budget of just £30 a week, I set out to mould my own deck and climb the competitive ladder all the way to the European Championships. The challenge? All my cards have to be obtained through sealed official products. I'm not allowed to trade, I'm not allowed to buy cards individually, and instead have to rely on the cold, hard luck of the draw. You're watching Yu-Gi-Oh! From scratch. Oh my god, we're actually on time this week. That's right, happy Thursday folks. We should be back to the normal schedule now, so that means Thursday is officially, once again, Yu-Gi-Oh! From Scratch Day. Today also sees the release of a new legendary duelist set, Magical Hero. I'm quite interested to see the ratios for this one because there's quite a lot of in-demand cards. While it's completely irrelevant to our Dragon Link deck, I will have a special video up on Monday marking the start of a new side series. I think you might enjoy it, so look out for that. Anyway, we have a few new supporters of the show here. Big thanks going out to Gizmek Galaxy, Ale Sun or Allison, Feast the Sniper, Dormaggio, and Aptly. Whether it's through Patreon or YouTube channel memberships, your support is much appreciated and is going a long way in terms of improving the series and helping us reach our final goal of going to Euros. If you want to contribute yourself, links will be in the description, or alternatively, if you're on a PC, you can click the join button underneath the video. Now, going back to last episode, there's a couple of things I want to address. Not once, but twice! I summoned Dingirsu while there was a Guardragon on the board, and if you don't know what Guardragons do, basically they have a continuous effect that locks you into summoning dragons. It's normally something that I'm keeping track of, but obviously it must have slipped past me on that day, and now that it's been pointed out, I'm going to be more aware of how I'm playing. So by making that mistake in the first place, it's something to learn from and will be one of the contributing factors to becoming a better player. Going in depth into each of these situations, neither of these misplays had an effect on the results. In this situation, I didn't use the effect of Pisty, so instead I could have just revived anything, linked it off, and achieved the same result. And in this situation, I could have just linked everything into Borrelsword and then made Dingirsu, so there's really no difference. Although sequencing and mechanical play is a very important part of playing competitively, and cheating a win at locals is also no bueno, even if it is unintentional. However, we haven't even been playing in local tournaments these past few weeks. You might have noticed that we haven't been opening prize packs in the series for a while now, and that's because the locals I usually compete at is on hiatus. They're hoping to get things figured out in February, so in the meantime, me and members of the community have just been organising little meetups and playing in a casual environment. That's why the lighting and setups seem to change every episode, and it's also why a few misplays are probably going to slip through here and there. But not today! We're going to make it a point to play perfectly and continue our clean sweep kill streak. We have a regional coming up in episode 19 and we want to be on top of our game. That means just 4 openings for us to optimize our deck before playing in this tournament. And with stage 3 of progress involving Striker Dragon and Bomommy, we might be asking for a bit much. We'll see what we get today and decide what to do from there. So fingers crossed. So, with the search for Striker Dragon continuing, I don't think you'll be surprised to find out that today we have 12 packs of Chaos Impact. That should hopefully set us up for an average of 2 Ultras, meaning 2 shots at getting Striker Dragon. Realistically, we'll probably just get another million Dream Mirror cards, but we'll see. Obviously, we're still also looking for 3 Starliege Seafort, so if we could pull one of those, it'll be happy days. So pack number 1 here, we have Nebula Dragon and Marincess Crystal Heart for the Super. Nebula Dragon, I think, is actually really quite a good card. It just doesn't have the right build available to it right now for it to shine. I do believe it will see play at some point in the future, so I've pretty much stockpiled all the rares I've ever pulled. Anyway, pack number 2, we've got Monster Express and Gorgon Evil Eye Non-Prismatic. I have to admit it's actually quite refreshing not getting Dream Mirror stuff. Although you lot seem to be quite hyped about the idea of sealed only Dream Mirrors. What is wrong with you? Actually, don't answer that. So here we have Gladiator Beast Rare and another Gorgon, 2 in a row. I actually seen a couple of comments on the last episode trying to explain what Evil Eye are meant to do, and yeah, I'll probably never touch the deck. Here we have Cauldron, Chubb, Blessed Winds, Test Panther as our first Ultra of the day. It is a Link monster, it got me a little bit excited, but it's not what we were looking for. Come on boys, you're meant to have your fingers crossed, help me out here. I think this is pack number 5, so we've got Dinowrestler, Unchained, Friend, the Light Dream Mirror Dog. Very cute, I like the little friend or foe thing they've got going on. we're going to be halfway after this one. So we have another Coca-Cola wannabe. Bye-bye, Cascade, Mandarin. Oh! Oh, boys! Boys! Who crossed their fingers? Was that you? Good job, good job. Oh, we got it. Striker Dragon. 1/2 of stage 3 of progress. Can we get some happy rocket noises in the chat, boys? Oh, I'm so happy, but now at the same time I'm a little bit scared because it means we have to start going for Appaloosa. God, it feels like we're never going to be finished with this. There's so much stuff we need. Alright, here we have Tachyon, Chubb, that thing, and another friend. Thinking about it, I don't actually know if we want to put in Striker Dragon right now because our combo doesn't need it, and honestly, Boot Sector Launch is just another brick. So it's not actually doing anything until we pull Appaloosa, but I guess we'll try it out. In pure Rockets, it's like one of the best cards ever because your bricky hands just aren't bricky anymore. But our Rocket package is so small nowadays that we're not going to see the benefits from that. Anyway, enough rambling. We got Overburst Dragon and the Dark Doggo. 3 packs left and we still haven't pulled a secret. Even if we don't pull one, I really don't care because we got Striker Dragon. But here we have Rafiki, Blessed Winds, and Crystal Heart Super Rare. Nothing too exciting. Something I did want to ask you guys is, would you be interested in me streaming? Right now I can barely even play online on my laptop, but when I upgrade my setup in the very near future, streaming will definitely be a possibility. So we could chat, have a laugh, you know, do some play testing, but only if you want to, because it's something I would have to learn and I don't really want to put the time towards it if it's not something you'd be interested in. Let me know what your thoughts about that are in the comments, but here we have, for the final pack of the opening, a Gladiator Beast Comeback, Protocol Gardna, Jelly Cannon, and a 3rd Gorgon. We got a playset in one episode. Very interesting. Well, that's that. We can move on from Chaos Impact for a little bit now, because we got our boy. We got our Striker Dragon. Now, there is a couple of changes I want to make to the deck before we head out. Obviously, I need to put in Goliath from last episode as well. So let's move on. As you probably know, for the past couple of weeks we've been giving away these nice metal Stay Classy field centers. We've already given away and shipped off the Cyber Dragon and the Pot of Greed, and we've just decided the winner for the Exodia one as well. With well over 1,000 members in the Discord, it was quite a hassle picking the winner randomly, but we eventually figured out a method, and through a series of random number generators, the winner chosen was Leon, which I'm assuming is going to be a French address, but I could be wrong. So I've dropped you a message on Discord, my guy. Hit me up. Now for my favourite design of the 4, Thunder Dragon Colossus. This one is going to be Patreon only. Just like the Pot of Greed, I'm going to stick up a post on Patreon randomly at some point during the week, and the first one to comment wins the prize. So get your trigger fingers ready, best of luck, and thank you for supporting the series. Right, hello, so game 2 versus Danger Lunalight. Obviously, you just saw game 1, we built a board that he just couldn't push through, so he scooped up his cards. Not gonna lie, it's definitely very interesting trying to edit Yu-Gi-Oh alongside epic music, but I'm sure we'll figure it out eventually. But yeah, looking at game 2 here, he makes us go first, and obviously our hand is not looking too great. Boot Sector Launch, of course, doing nothing here either. So we're forced to just set Crusadia Draco in the pass turn. I sided in Bells and set Crusadia Draco in the leftmost zone because I had the slight feeling we might have been playing against Lunalight Orcust, but he actually doesn't run any Orcust stuff at all. But he starts by normal summoning Kaleido Chick and activating its effect, sending another Kaleido Chick to grave for cost. He then activates Lunalight Perfume to revive the Kaleido Chick from grave, so I Bell that because if he summons it, he's most likely just going to get to Azathoth, and Bell would be useless after that anyway. After that he pitches an Ogre for the second effect of Perfume, searching him a Lunalite Tiger. Activating Tiger, he can revive Kaleidochick with its effects negated, although he can still activate its effect, and because it sends for cost, he still gets to send Yellow Marten anyway. Apparently my face down is a big problem for Sam because he doesn't have a way to remove it outside of Unicorn.
Why is that face down, you?
How is that difficult?
You don't understand, right?
He links both Kaleidochicks into a Masquerena and then uses the effect of Yellow Marten bouncing back Tiger to summon itself from grave. Tiger then revives another Kaleidochick, allowing him to overlay into 4 Strix, adding Zephyros to hand. Now he can link into Unicorn, pitching Zephyros to get rid of my pesky face down. Zephyros bounces Tiger, Tiger revives Kaleidochick, and we take a beating from everything, obviously, except Kaleidochick. He overlays into Dweller and passes turn. Honestly, I fully expected to get OTK'd on that turn, but I guess we have a chance to bring it back. He also has a face down that we need to worry about as well. Dweller's really kind of screwing us over here and forcing us to make some really weird plays. So I start by activating Dragon Ravine and use its effect, pitching Absorouter for cost. Since I'm locked out of graveyard effects, I send Tracer so I can revive it with Boot Scepter launch. At this point I really kind of regret taking out Scarlight Dragon for Striker Dragon because Scarlight could just blow up the board here. So the best line of play I believe is to get to Borrowload Savage. I normally summon World Chalice Guardragon, link into Striker Dragon so I can then pop it with Tracer's effect, but when it gets summoned we get super polyed and that's pretty much game. Game 3 I decide to dupe him and make him go first, and I am not about to lose our kill streak. We have a decent go in second hand, but he just passes, he doesn't do anything. So top decking Autorokket, there's definitely some plays we can do, but he's most likely got Nibiru. Even then I could have made like Hope Harbinger or something, but I think if I play conservatively, he'll think I have Nibiru as well. So I normal summon Brotaur. Linking into Striker Dragon, I get a search for Boot Scepter launch, which will set us up for an easy kill next turn. However, it gets met with an impermanence, so no Boot Scepter launch for me. I follow up with a Dragon Shrine to see if I can bait out any other hand traps, and he does drop the Ash Blossom, so that's fine, he's got 3 cards left. So attacking for 1000, I then pass turn knowing that I'm very unlikely to die with Phantazmay in hand and Brotaur in grave. On his turn, like I said, he is very fearful of a Nibiru, so he plays very conservatively, but he does still manage to pull off some Luna-like combos. For his 5th summon, he overlays into Honor Arc and sucks up Striker Dragon, then punches for a considerable amount of damage, leaving me with 3,200 life points. Main phase 2, he links into Masquerena, which enables Fantastical drawing me into Draconnet, really fixing my hand and setting me up. He activates Tiger, reviving Yellow Marten, and then overlays into Dweller and passes turn. So he has 1 card left in hand, which could either be Nibiru or a Unicorn interruption, but we have Fantastical, so Unicorn's kind of irrelevant. Top decking Goliath, I'm pretty sure there's multiple lines of play here that would just OTK him, but instead of comboing off, I think Lunalite can't out Goliath. So I special summon Pankratops, wait for him to see if he has any response, and then tribute for Goliath. I really should have lost the game because of this, for not realizing that tribute summon Nibiru is a thing, even after doing it like 2 episodes ago. You guys loved that.
We did.
Tributing.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. What do you have? Oh, Nibiru. Tribute summon Nibiru! Oh my god.
Sadly for him, it wasn't quite enough damage to take the game, so on my next turn I just comboed off because my hand was so stacked. I did a bit of an oopsie as well, completely forgetting what Lunalite Tiger does, so I twin twistered both of them.
Oh no. What have I done? What did I do?
It's okay though, we still won, and that's all that matters. Round 2, we're up against Hunter's Go Second Orcust deck. I'm going first, and our hand is honestly just so weird, but we can make it work. Starting with the normal summon of a Galaxy Serpent, and then quick launch for Autorokket, getting us to Deck Mommy. Ib searches as World Legacy Guardragon, however when we activate it to revive a monster, he Ghost Ogres it. It's slightly annoying, but we can still play on by activating our second quick launch. With no interruption left on his side, I get to combo off, and we actually do our combo a little bit differently here. We go into Striker Dragon first. Searching for Boot Scepter launch, I then special summon Draco from hand to Striker Dragon's Arrow and link into LP. Continuing our combos until I get to our usual board plus a set Crackdown. Passing it over to him, I think he just accepted defeat because after a bunch of danger effects he activates Super Poly and then just scoops up.
No. Scoops. You'll wait for me.
Game 2, we're going first again, and we open another very interesting hand. Tempest has a very strong effect where you can discard him and a wind monster from your hand to search for any dragon. But instead, because I'm dumb, I just set Crackdown, set World Chalice Guardragon, and pass turn. Over to him, he sets 2 back row and normal summon Scrap Recycler, but we don't want him to get to his Orcust engine, so we ash it. He follows it up with a Jackalope, which we snipe, so he summons Tsuchinoko from deck. From here, he goes into a spicy Dante the Traveler of the Burning Abyss.
Dante never dies!
Sadly for him, before he's able to mill 3, I flip Crackdown to take control of it. There's not much else he can do after that, so he passes it back to me, and we top deck Absorouter Dragon. Now from here, there's 2 ways we can go. We can make Phoenix, discard Absorouter, and pop a back row to search for Tracer. That would lead to a Borrelsword OTK, but he has 2 cards in hand and 2 face downs, so chances are he might be able to stop me. Instead, you know what I do? Orcust can't out Goliath. I slow the game down to a proper grind, and I mean a proper grind. I slowly keep chipping away at him until he gets to Gizmek. Yes, Gizmek is a thing. Orcust can out Goliath. Sadly, Gizmek alone isn't going to do it, and because he's activated it a few times, he's missing quite a lot of engine pieces. After grinding out a few more turns, I push for the Borrelsword kill, and he defends himself with a Super Poly. Starving Venom doesn't stay out for long, as he sees an opportunity to go in for the kill and links it off for a Galatea and do some Orcust plays, but we crack down his Galatea. He still manages to extend into a second Galatea and make one final attempt for game. The issue being he needs Gizmek, and there's only 7 cards left in his deck.
I don't have enough. I don't have enough cards. I don't have enough cards either. Fuck.
Gizmek can't save you now.
Galatea effect. Yeah. Gizmek.
Wait, is this actually... Oh my god. Hunter, can you win?
We'll find out.
A respectable effort indeed, but it wasn't enough damage and I just had to pass and he decked out. The kill streak, boys, that's 6 in a row now. Round 3, we're going up against Chris's Mekk-Knights. I'm going first, and we have full combo in Dragon Shrine and Cyanet Mining. But Goliath in Boot Sector Launchman, how many times have we opened that today? Although rant aside, we do end on our full board plus Solemn Strike and Called by the Grave. He starts by summoning purple and set into back row before super polying purple and Harbinger for Mud Dragon. Going straight into the battle phase, he attacks over spheres, so obviously I activate its effect in response and bounce his Mud Dragon. Summoning Brotaur off its effect, he then activates Mind Control, which we negate with Savage. Back over to us, I summon Spiral from Grave, activating its effect, and then summoning Ding, sending his final back row. Then we summon Tempest from Grave and attack for game. Game 2, we're going first again, and have quite a solid hand, although World Chalice Guardragon's in there, and that's the one Garnet in our deck that we don't want to see. We've actually opened that quite a lot today as well. It's always the same cards, I don't know what's going on. But with this hand specifically, it's not actually an issue, because we just normal summon it and quick launch for Tracer, getting us to Ib. Sadly, because we didn't have access to Galaxy Serpent or draw into an additional extender through Yugioh, we weren't able to make our full board. We ended on Spheres, Savage with a set Crackdown and a Ghost Ogre in hand. Chris starts off by activating Cosmic Cyclone, banishing the Crackdown, followed by a Mind Control on Savage to bait out the negate. He sets one to summon a purple from hand, then activates his set, which is a second Mind Control target in Savage. As Chainlink 2, I activate the effect of Spheres, tributing itself for cost, then as Chainlink 3, he activates purple, target in itself, and Chainlink 4, I drop the Ghost Ogre. So resolving backwards, purple gets destroyed, which then fizzles, Spheres bounces Savage, and Mind Control then fizzles. And then finally, on a new chain, the effect of Spheres summons Galactic Spiral Dragon from the deck. Passing over to us with an empty board, we top deck Ash, but it really doesn't matter what we top deck, we have game anyway. So we activate Tempest, summon itself from Graveyard, and then we activate Ravine, pitching Ash for cost, send an Absorouter which searches for Rokket Synchron. Normal summoning the Synchron, we can revive the Absorouter and then synchro into the Borrelode Savage that we put back with Spheres. Then, because we still have World Legacy Guardragon, we can activate its effect to move the zones of Savage, opening up the extra monster zone again for us. Now I can activate the effect of Spiral and overlay into Hope Harbinger and attack for game purely because of the cost he paid for Cosmic Cyclone the turn before. 7 win streak. And finally that brings us to round 4, where we're going against Paul's Hand Trap Invoked. We're going first, but our hand is pretty fragile. Realistically, I should have started with the Foolish to bait out any hand traps, but instead I just go straight into Draconnet and we get hit by the Ash. With no extenders, I really can't do anything else. I do activate Foolish, sending Galactic Spiral, but that's really not doing anything. So from there, we pass turn, and he takes control of the game with a Mekaba. On destruction of Draconnet, I'm pretty much forced to activate Brotaur to get some kind of starter play in my hand, but obviously he has no reason not to negate it with Mekaba, and so that pretty much seals the deal. Top decking Magnarokket for turn is really no use, and there's absolutely nothing we can do. Game 2, we're going first. Let me ask one thing. What the... well, I guess it's true what they say, all good things have to come to an end, and our kill streak was stopped at 7. On the bright side though, we have achieved our January goal. Our win ratio is finally positive. We've come so far since the beginning 3 months ago. Now the catch is trying to keep it positive. Let's not screw this up. So today was definitely a weird episode. Incredibly, we pulled Striker Dragon, meaning the search for Apollousa starts now. This could go on forever, hopefully not. And we finally achieved a positive win-lose ratio, even though we somehow managed to open our bricks constantly every game. What was up with that, man? I've just put Goliath in the deck and I already hate it. I think we would be much better off with the Sloth because requiring one less tribute is huge when you open it in your hand. Also, I think I might put Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend back into the deck and take something else out because it really could have came in clutch today. So I would say we've actually learned a lot about our deck today. In terms of YouTube, we've been smashing it lately. You guys have been hitting the like button, you guys have been hitting the subscribe button, and if you have just recently joined us on this journey, then you've joined us at the perfect point because there's a lot of stuff coming in the next few weeks. I'm excited about it, I really hope you guys are excited about it, but with all that being said, we're going to wrap it up today. Thanks so much if you've made it this far, honestly, it's incredible, and I will see you next time.
Gravel road, I've been asked to slow down. Fireplace, do you